Admiral, Yonko, Zoro, Sanji. Long ago, all agendas lived in peace and harmony. Well, that was until them Zoro niggas attacked. Yeah, they fucked the whole show. But only Oda, the writer of this story, master of the 4 elements that make up power scaling, could really save the fandom from stupidity. But when we needed him most, he vanished.
So originally, I was gonna wait for a chapter to come out to where Zoro did something, but Zoro hasn't done anything in the past how long, and I'm tired of waiting for this man. So instead of waiting, I'm just gonna do my own thing and, just slide in right here. Thing with the Yonkos, so whenever the Yonkos decide to want to do something, like Luffy actually does something, then I'll then make a video. But until then, yeah, we're gonna wait on that. And anyway, Zoro gas is technically Sanji gas, since Sanji's stronger. I've decided to do this video. I'll try to give you guys as much hype as possible. I promise. I'll try to be neutral as possible. But when you're like rooted so deep into something, you're there like it's hard to break out of the habit. Like he's just a bum. Okay, let me stop. In this video, Zoro is not a bum. He is a regular guy. He's not cool. He's cool. Anyway, if you guys like the video, please like and subscribe. And yeah, let's get into some Zoro piece. Now to start, we should go over their history, and with their history, we gotta start in pre-time skip. Now in pre-time skip, Zoro was okay. I mean, towards the end of it, it was kind of like, oh, you're kind of becoming more of Sanji's rival than Luffy's rival, but that's besides the point. Zoro in the pre-time skip was doing okay for himself. See, Zoro's hype and whatever back then was so good that Zoro fans nowadays still somehow use it when it doesn't really add up, since it was 20 years ago. I mean, listen, it's a gender piece. You can do whatever you want, but I mean, come on, like, bro, it was 20 years ago. Like, let it go. It was compared to Luffy once, and they want to be acting like hooligans. All right, let me chill. Now, post time skip was where it takes a turn, a little bit different. Now, I haven't been in the community prior to like Rooftop Wano, and yes, you did hear that, Rooftop Wano. I'll be getting into that in a second. But I was in the community prior to that, so whatever was going on, I don't know. But there was one thing that was going on pre-Rooftop that we're gonna have to get into right now. Now, if you've been in the community for a while, you will know what I'm probably gonna hint to in a minute. Yeah, I'm talking about that one theory that, well, we're all kind of acquainted with, but for people that are somehow new to this and you don't know what the theory is, I can't break it down to you. I'm not gonna, I did not read all those 42 pages. Like, I'm not that jobless, but listen, I will give you a short, tiny, incy-bincy summary on what was basically going down. So as I said before, I didn't actually read the full 42 pages, so I can't really give you the 100% of what was actually going on inside of that long ass drawn out kind of. The theory did kind of have a little bit of sense to it, but it was mostly nonsense type of theory. So I'm gonna give you why they came up with it, or why I think they came up with it. So I want to get into it now. Zoro has like this sort of like connection with Ryuma, which we didn't know back then. Well, I mean, kind of did, but didn't. But he has a connection to Ryuma, right? And Ryuma stayed a dragon. Kaido was a dragon. There was a this cover art of a dragon on Zoro's like noodles, and it just kind of went from there. Also, the fact that he had Shisui and then got Enma, and then it was just kind of some like, it was just a theory. I forgot, bro. There was 42 pages. I read like 1 or 2 and said I'm good, because I knew it was nonsense. Because bro, I kid you not, the first day I've stepped into the community, or one of the first couple of days I stepped into the community, I was like, oh, what's ZKK? Because I'm seeing everybody post like ZKK. I'm like, okay, cool, what is this, bro? I see some like thing, because I remember back then it was kind of smaller. Bro, it was like 4 years ago. I can't remember everything, but I do remember that it was kind of like, it was smaller, but there was still a lot. And I read like a few of it. There was a couple of videos out, whatever, and I was like, okay, cool. I did like the most little bit of research to know that it's kind of nonsense, and I'm going to get into it, why it's nonsense, in a second. Me, ZKK wasn't something that I was 100% sold on, even if I only read like a few pages of it or saw a couple of videos on it. Mainly because it just undermined what Luffy was set out to do, and either way, Luffy isn't the type of person to where it's like he says, oh, I'm going to go beat someone. He isn't the type of person to be like, oh yeah, come tag team him with me. He isn't that type of guy. Especially someone like Kaido, which is why I never really believed the theory, and I never believed that Zoro was going to get back up after he beat King, when we knew that the mink drug was going to take. You know, I'm getting too far ahead. Let me reel it back, and we'll go through the stages of ZKK as I'm going over the rooftop and Wano in general. So the rooftop starts. Zoro is basically outperforming everyone. Like, let's be for real. And then, you know, things go by, chapters go by, 1004 hits, blah blah blah. You see Sanji get bitched. Unfortunately, I have to say that, because I mean, look, it was a good time for Zoro fans. And then chapters go by, then 1009 hits. Obviously, going into this chapter, I don't actually fully remember what I was thinking, but I do remember that when I went on TikTok that day, I did not want to go back on it after I logged off, because Zoro was getting hyped way too much, bro. Okay, let's actually analyze the panel here. So obviously, Big Mom and Kaido are like, okay, cool, yeah, these kids are annoying us, scum. Let's try to get them out of the way, cool. So they do a double Yonko attack, right? Luffy's like, yo, something's big's coming, like, prior to that, and then obviously the attack goes off, and then everybody's like, oh, how are we gonna deal with it? Obviously, when Zoro blocks it, Killer's gone. Also, one thing we do need to point out, that boy Killer is a runner. Like, he's quick. Killer's quick. Like, don't underestimate Killer in terms of speed. He was able to react to the Yonko attack. He was able to obviously get out of the way of that quick enough if he could. And then on top of that, he was able to react to Shanks' divine departure, which Kid wasn't even able to do. Give him a round of applause, bro, because he's actually really good in terms of speed. This isn't a Killer video, so let's like move that out of the way. So Kid is standing there like one idiot. We don't know what he's doing, bro. Kid was standing there, oh my god, oh, you idiot. Luffy was there like, oh, Zoro, like, wherever, and then Law was obviously there like, okay, cool, let's check everybody out of the way. So a moment goes by, he does it, gets everybody out of the way, and then Zoro's obviously landing on his back, whatever. Goes by, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Kaido defeats, in quotation marks, Luffy, and then Zoro comes back, right, and he's like, yo, you put your hands on my captain, are you crazy? And then just whips out Ashura. He just whips out Ashura, and then just like scars Kaido. Listen, for those 2 chapters, I was sick. I was sick to my stomach. Listen, back then, like, I was sick because I couldn't escape nothing. People were on like, oh, Sanji this, Sanji that, Zoro this, Zoro. Bro, I was sick. But as the famous saying goes, I hope I don't butcher it, all good things must come to an end. And we know who comes next, and I actually have to thank this man sometimes. Yeah, King came along after ZKK was at its highest. People were jumping on the bandwagon and everything. He came along and was like, no, come in and fighting me. And what made it worse was chapter 1032. This was where the Zoro agenda was. Okay, look, listen. That chapter 1032 was probably one of the funnier chapters we had in Wano, but it was also one of the worst ones for Zoro fans, technically. Immediately, the race allegations came up. Zoro was the same race with Brazy. Now, obviously, now the joke is rinsed, but back when it first dropped, that was hilarious because people was actually funny with it, not like how they're funny with it or try to be funny with it nowadays. We have this infamous panel which I love. King, listen, you may be dumb, but you've done some good things in your time that you was around, and you gave us this panel. Boy, was I, whoo! Because this was after Sanji was getting all his power-ups. I'm sorry, this is a Zoro agenda video. I gotta stop gassing up Sanji. My bad. Hey, revert back to the program. Yeah, so as I was saying, before somebody took over the mic, that wasn't me. I'm keeping this very unbiased. Yeah, Zoro obviously had a bad chapter in that thing. It was not looking good. It was not looking good. But obviously the next chapter came and well, you know what he got? He got that Conqueror's coat and the very strongest, you know, like he's put up on that pedestal. And after all them weeks of slander that Zoro fans kind of had to, they didn't really take that many weeks. It was I don't know, it was 50-50. Like Sanji fans were having their laps around them type shit, but it wasn't really that bad. But yeah, they got their get back. They got advanced conquerors, and Hey, he put the work on King. I'm not gonna lie, he put the work on King. Now this is kind of where the Zoro agenda does take a dip, and yeah, Zoro does do ZKK, but it's not in the way you think it is. Zoro did knock out King, but he didn't kill Kaido, which means he didn't do the real ZKK. Nor did he do alright, Zoro, I'm gonna leave you alone. Alright, I'm not gonna do you like that. Yeah, Wano Zoro was basically done at this point. He was out, down for the count, he was gone. The most he got was advanced conquerors, and you know what? That's a great thing to get, since that does help you. Wano finishes, ZKK is dead. Obviously, people clown on ZKK. Like, even Zoro, bro, even Zoro fans were clowning on ZKK. It was that funny. Like, that bathtub, yeah. Even now, bro. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me just put in the video right here.
Can someone please tell me why this fraud is celebrating? This fraudulent being promises this motherfucker made and did not meet one. Why are you celebrating?
The end of Wano was, yeah, it was truly something for the Zoro agenda. I bet you're like saying here, okay, so what about the Egghead saga? What do you mean, what about the Egghead saga? Bro, what do you mean about the Egghead? No, tell me what Zoro has done in Egghead. Bro, Egghead for the Zoro agenda has been more about them speculating who he's gonna fight next than who he's actually fought. He's fought S-Hawk. I don't count that little squabble with Kaku. I don't count that. And he's one-shot, in quotation marks, Lucci. There's nothing to talk about. So I'm gonna transition into my next one. That's about this guy right here. Yeah, Mihawk. Now, I think at one point everybody was a heavy Shanks fan, but I think a lot of us kind of do grow out of it, or some of us just stay in it, but I grew out of it, and I obviously can now see that Mihawk is stronger than Shanks, mainly because of narrative implications. I do think everything else Shanks does have, but narrative implications and a few statements here and there does basically make Mihawk stronger than Shanks, and if you don't want to view it like that, you gotta view it like this. If Shanks is stronger than Mihawk, it just invalidates Zoro's goal, and even me, someone that doesn't like Zoro as much as everybody else does, I can admit that, narratively, it would make no sense for Oda to just drop one of his main characters because he likes another character more. I used to have that mindset, but now I don't, since it just makes no sense, and it would basically make Oda a bad writer in that sense. So there we go, we have Mihawk, and obviously that does set a high precedent for Zoro at the end of the series. I still don't think he'll be equal with Luffy. Luffy, like, look, his ceiling is like Mihawk realm. Joy Boy is far above Mihawk in my opinion. Like, okay, far above is a bit of a stretch, but Joy Boy definitely beats Mihawk at a high diff. Like, I don't care, and Luffy is gonna reach that level, so there's still gonna be a little gap between him and Zoro. Like, let's be real now. That's the point. Shanks is a very, very strong character and is very, like, held in high esteem amongst the community, so Zoro being stronger than him is obviously a win. I love that for Zoro. Like, good. You're doing good for yourself. Zoro agenda kind of has like something to rely on, and that's Mihawk. Mihawk being stronger than Shanks, and the more that Shanks does something, is the more Mihawk can be like, yeah, I feast off of them feats. And Zoro's like, yeah, end of series, I feast off of your feats too. So it's kind of like, it's a win-win situation for Zoro. Now that we've gone over Zoro as a character, let's get into his fan base. And this is where a lot of people kind of do get upset with Zoro. I don't know why they blame Zoro for his community. It's just how it is, but yeah, people do blame certain characters for their community, if that makes sense. Out of all the communities, I would say the Zoro community is one of the stronger ones, and they're probably one of the funnier ones, since they do come up with some funny jokes that even I'm like, okay, cool, I have to actually sit down in front of it. That is why, like, you have to kind of build a backbone when you're going up against them, which is why I do say some of your friends are kind of, I'm not going to get into that, but Zoro fans are very funny, and what they love to do is they love to become theorists whenever it comes to Zoro. Like, they try to make up these crazy theories that make themselves smart, when you know in the end it's never going to happen, but obviously you gotta like give them a little bit of hope and be like, yeah, no, that could happen. Bro, they have said he's gonna fight Zoro this arc, they said he's gonna fight Kizaru this arc, they've said he's gonna fight everybody this arc, but everybody that they said he's gonna fight, he hasn't fought. Bro, they gave him S-Hawk. Actually, I think a few people did want him to fight S-Hawk, but he got S-Hawk and then he got Lucci. He got Lucci. He could have had Kizaru, but he had... Oh, you are a special man sometimes. But yeah, I do believe that the reason the Zoro agenda is so delusional is because of their end goal. The fact that they have Mihawk, they can literally create any theory that they want and be like, well, I mean, end of series is still going to reach there, so we might as well just make a theory and just see if it comes true. Which, I mean, look, listen, if you want to go into the agenda piece with that mindset, go ahead, do as you please. But I mean, look, listen, they're going to come up with a lot of slander. But then again, they're one of those communities that fight fire or fire. Like, you tell them to shut up, they'll tell you to shut up times 10. Like, they're funny, man. Like, sometimes you just gotta sit there and be like, yo, them niggas are funny. So yeah, out of all the fandoms, you know what, at the end of this, I'm gonna do like a ranking. So far I have the Zoro agenda, like in terms of like how much they're funny and like them as a community, I'll rank them. I'm not gonna take toxicity and like how technically bad they are, but I mean, look, listen, agenda piece in my eyes is just purely fun and you want to keep it fun, okay? Like, because there are some people that do take it a little bit fun. Yeah, this is the Zoro agenda overview. Right now, the agenda is dead because he's done nothing on Egghead aside from fight Lucci. Like, what can we do with that? Nothing. Nothing. Like, what can we do with that? So, the Zoro agenda right now is dead, but I do believe in due time it will revive itself since obviously things will happen. But as of right now, the Zoro agenda is dead, and yeah, that's how it's probably going to be for a little bit since Oda wants to somehow, for some reason, gatekeep him. Also, while recording this, the light novel was debunked. yo, I'm not gonna lie, they can't stop taking L's. They're throwing the deadness that the Zoro agenda has right now. Monster was bad, like the Ryuma adaptation, and then we got the light novel. The light novel was bad. You haven't actually got the light novel. I'm just saying it's bad as in like it's bad for them since it's not being managed by Oda. And then on top of that, there is a Wings thing coming out with him and Sanji. Bro, Oda is like, you guys may want to think, oh, Zoro like is Oda's golden child and he hates Sanji. No, right now he's giving Sanji some good stuff. Like, you guys aren't really deep in what he's doing with Sanji right now, and you're not deep in what he's doing with Zoro. He's very much dumbing down Zoro right now, and that is crazy. Yeah, he's Oda's doing his own thing. So we got a Wings thing coming out soon as well. Zoro is not looking good. Like, Zoro, if the community gas up Zoro, then Zoro wouldn't actually be in a bad spot right now. But because the community put him to such a high pedigree and such a high level, it looks like Oda is slamming this guy back down into the ground. Like, you was too high in Wano, go back down. But yeah, this is another 17-minute video. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna head out. My next video will be something very different. Like, it's gonna be very different. So please tune in. Anyway, I love you guys for all the support, and you guys keep showing it. I'll keep showing you guys love back with videos and shit. Make sure to add my Twitter since I do interact with you guys over there. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.